This is some cool news. Tesla's AP safety record has improved again.
Oh, cool. So, I mean, this is a kind of a quarterly number that we look at every quarter. And so let's walk through it here.
So Tesla said in the first quarter, we registered one accident for every 4.68 million miles driven in which drivers had autopilot engaged. For those driving without autopilot, but with our active safety features, we registered one accident for every 1.99 million miles driven. For those driving without autopilot and without our active safety features, we registered one accident for every 1.42 million miles driven. By comparison, NHTSA's most recent data shows that in the United States, there is an automobile crash every 479,000 miles.
Okay, wait. So there's a million miles and then there's...
Oh, you know what? It's easier to visualize this with a good chart. So let's go to hypercharts.co where they have an excellent Tesla safety chart. So check this out.
Oh.
That flat line along the bottom is basically doesn't change that much. That's NHTSA's data. So one accident for every 479,000 miles. The red line there at the top is when you're using autopilot, and that means that you're over 9 times safer driving with autopilot on.
9 times safer?
Yeah.
So, okay.
9 times less likely to even get into an accident.
So let's just look at this red line here for a second. So what happened last quarter? Q4 looked terrible.
Well, if you remember, Q4 includes December, which is a very dark and cold month in many states. And so there's lots of crashes, especially because the beginning of winter, people have forgotten about winter, and they've forgotten that ice makes things slippery. And so there's lots of car crashes.
And this is a trend that we've seen throughout the years, that Q4 is like the worst quarter for Tesla Autopilot, and then it starts to pick back up from there. And wow, look at the data. And I want to look, especially year over year, that's extraordinary growth and increase in safety. I mean, I remember when we were talking about 6 times safer. Now we're talking about 9 times safer to be an autopilot.
Yep. And that's not all. Let's take a look at Tesla's fire data. A lot of people are like, electric cars catch on fire.
Right. I mean, there's all those news stories that you see, but from month to month, maybe you see 1 or 2 stories about electric cars.
But let's look at the actual data. From 2012 to 2019, there have been approximately 1 Tesla vehicle fire for every 175 million miles traveled. By comparison, data from the National Fire Protection Association and the U.S. Department of Transportation shows that in the United States, there is a vehicle fire for every 19 million miles traveled in a regular ICE car. There's about 9 times less fires in Teslas.
And there's 9 times more fires in non-electric cars.
And why do you think that is?
Because there are explosions happening in those cars
constantly. Remember what we just talked about on our conversion garage, where we learned about the internal combustion engine. It's just a bunch of explosions going on. And there's a fuel tank. And there's fuel lines. And a hot exhaust system. Tesla Time News is sponsored by Cybertruck Owners Club. There you'll find a crowdsourced reservation tracker that you can update. Check out their website for Cybertruck news, discussions, and community for Cybertruck enthusiasts and future owners.
Thanks so much for watching this Now You Know clip.
Head over to Now You Know channel for full episodes of Tesla Time News and In Depth.
And if you want to treat yourself and your family to something amazing, check this out.
Jesse and I have been enjoying Masterclass, where we've been learning all sorts of fun topics from the masters themselves. Comedy from Judd Apatow.
Screenwriting from Aaron Sorkin.
Investigative journalism from Bob Woodward.
Tennis from Serena Williams.
And so many more.
Click the link down below to support our channel and experience what it's like to learn from the masters at Masterclass.